Welcome to the Empty Netters podcast. Can you believe what this has become?
There was a full 48 hours where I felt like I was like literally Superman.
Jumbo loves playing Fortnite, so he gets on the sticks.
Did TR show you the sauna cycle, or was that all
No, I invented that.
Almost a year now that I haven't taken a body check. That's kind of nice.
So we are back. We are horned up, and we are going deep.
Finished tonight with some chicken fingers and a few Guinnesses, ran into you guys, and that's where this pod came to life.
Ice is ready, and we are back with another long-anticipated episode of the Empty Netters podcast. The people have been freaking out about it. Brought to you by BetMGM. We're coming to you from all over the planet right now. Your boy is in England, and I know you're asking, am I going to wear this cap the entire show? You're damn right I am. We've got Dr. Watkins on the sticks. Pulled back into the bunker immediately. Alec Martinez joined it. Where are you, Marty?
I'm in LA. I was in Vegas for a week, but you caught me here, so I could be doing this live, but you're in England, man.
Yeah.
So.
Look at us. I mean, I fucked this up, if we're being honest. And CP, you know I always like to give you a hard time, but the guy's playing hurt. He's on the IR. 6 to 8 weeks. Broken hand. Chris Powers.
That beer league, dude. Beer league dinger. Love of the game. This is real love of the game shit. Marty's breaking feet, blocking NHL shots. I'm blocking beer league shots, dude. That's a different breed.
That is gritty. That's as gritty as it gets. And I am going to say, we talked to Coach Joe. We're not going to give him, we're not going to go full government name and call him out, but he did say he wanted to take his medicine and be called out on the pod for breaking your hand. So Coach Joe, keep the fucking shots down, pal. Jesus Christ.
Who's taking a slap shot in beer league? Like
it wasn't like my hands were low. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that high.
You didn't answer my question.
Yeah. Quit dodging the question, Chris. Stop being such a nice guy.
Good point. He apologized. He apologized immediately. He came running up and said, I'm so sorry. And I said, it's fine. It's completely, I didn't think I was hurt though. I might have given him some business.
He did say to me today, boys, he goes, my number one rule in beer league is don't get hurt and don't hurt other people. And I hurt someone I love. I was like, yeah, dude, you fucked up big time.
Did you tell him, Dan? I didn't even tell him it happened. I felt too bad.
He actually texted me before we even knew officially it was broken. He texted me and was like, how's Chris's hand? And joking, I went, you shattered it, dude. It shattered in 17 places. And then a couple days later, I was like, oh, it actually is.
He's the real victim here, dude. He's going to lose sleep for weeks over this.
Oh, yeah. His life is ruined, dude. All right, guys, we talked about it. We're getting into our anticipated playoff preview episode. Before we do that, though, we got to plug the Empty Netters Bracket Challenge. We got it on NHL right now. Post just went up. Go to the page, click on the link, top comment on the post, sign up. You get your chance to win $250 to the Netters store if you win the bracket. It's amazing. But boys, I did see one comment and it said the three of us, CP, Marty, me, need to fill out a bracket, and whoever has the worst bracket has to frost their tips for the rest of playoffs. I'm not sure I'm ready to commit to that bet yet, but I do think maybe the three of us need to have a bet on a bracket.
Chris, yours are already frosted.
Yeah, that's easy. I hope I lose. Yeah.
No. Chris has to brown his tips. He has to go reverse. It's like
now, what about he does the Alyssa?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Good question.
How about you did the Alyssa Liu hair where it's like half of it's blonde, the other half is brown.
Leopard.
That's like
full
the skater.
leopard.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is that a metaphor?
Yeah.
Or are we still talking about hair here?
Yeah, I think browning your hair could definitely mean a lot of different things, if I'm being honest here.
Sure could. I think the punishment should have to be that Timu version of that
Dude,
cast he's rocking right now.
Can we get a look at this thing, dude?
Seriously,
what is going on here? And
only
dude,
you, Chris. Only you could have your cast in a day turn into an absolute shit show like that.
Was that done by a medical professional or no?
Where
did you go?
Marty, it was a med student. They said, do you mind if a med student takes a bit at this? And I said, no problem. Bring her in. That's the true story. I swear to God.
They were blind.
Hopefully they hold them back a year. Holy.
Marty, I was about to say the second part of that story is she flunked out a couple hours
later.
Yeah.
No, Dan, flunked out before.
You were
they didn't
final,
know yet.
yeah.
She was just there. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, her supervisor just came up to her after and was like, "Hey, this just isn't for you.
Yeah,
You're fired.
You're gonna have to find a different field."
Yeah.
God, that is amazing. Okay, you guys ready? Should I rip us through this?
Yeah,
go.
absolutely.
We're going to go. We're just
through it.
going across the country. There's no bias here. We're starting in the Atlantic. We're going to go all the way west. So for the first series that we got cooking, guys, is the number 1 seed Buffalo Sabres versus the wild card Boston Bruins. Now, Marty, what we usually do is on 3, not at the same time, but to start the segment, we each will say who we think is winning and in how many games, and then we will discuss. So in my Brady Bunch box, Dan, we're starting with you on this one. Ev, do you want to give your picks too?
Sure.
Okay, so Dan, we're going to go Dan, Marty, Chris, Evan. Bruins, Sabres. Who's winning it and how many? Are you ready, Dan?
Are we saying it at the same time?
No, because too many people will drown each other out. So we're just going to go right around. So Dan, you start, then Marty, then me, then Ev. Whenever you want, Dan. Bruins, Sabres, who you got?
Bruins.
In?
7. I'm going Buffalo.
Bruins in 7. Sorry. Marty, what do you got?
Buffalo in 6.
I gotta, dude. I said to Dan in a text earlier, when the Bruins lose, normally I wish the team who's just beat them to lose immediately too, so they will also experience sadness. And this is a unique year where if the Sabres beat the Bruins, I will wish them the longest and most joyous run ever. But I have to go Bees.
Wow, you're wearing the jacket.
I have to go Bees, but it will. If they do it, it will be 7 though. It will be 7 because it's good. The Sabres are nasty. So I will also take Bees in 7. Evan, who you got?
I'll take Sabres in 7.
Sabres in 7. Okay, long series for the boys here.
Well, listen, here's the thing. Every time I speak positively about the Sabres, bad things happen. So any Sabres fans who's initially mad at me, think about it. Think about it. I'm doing a little, maybe some Miyagi stuff going on here.
Marty, we were looking up a bunch of metrics about power play and all that shit of these teams during the regular season. What is, in your experience, what is more valuable in a playoff series? A hot power play or a hot PK?
I think a PK.
Okay.
I mean, because it's like take a penalty at the end of the game, or you take a penalty in overtime. You take, I just would always, and maybe that's just because I'm a defenseman, so I initially lean on defense wins championships, right? But I think it is actually true. But you can get scoring 5-on-5. You have to have scoring 5-on-5 in the playoffs, especially like scoring by committee. You need guys that don't always produce, or you need a different so-called hero every night. But I think the PK is something that has to stay consistent because, I mean, teams are just too good. The power plays are too good. If you don't do that, then I mean, you're going to be chasing games and you're going to be down, and it's just not a good recipe for success.
I completely agree with that. And I am going to say, I mean, like, CP, you pulled up the numbers here. First of all, anyone who is sleeping on the Sabres, the fact that they have the 4th best PK in the league, 5th most goals for, 7th best goals against, like, that team is a actual wagon.
Legit, man. Legit. Since December 1st, their numbers are crazy. Yeah.
But I also can't believe their peeper is so bad, given the fact that they have Tage Thompson hitting out nukes from the fucking.
Just pass it to him. Let him rip it.
How is it so bad? But then the Bruins PK is so bad. So like maybe it washes out. I don't know. It's going to be crazy.
Where does the I haven't been in playoffs in 14 years fall for you guys? Because for me, that has to be a negative. I know everyone's hyped, but I'm like, you have no experience. You're too excited. What do you think, Marty?
I think it's going to be massive.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it can go one of two ways, right? I'm really excited to see that group because it's like they've been slowly building like their momentum, and then obviously, I mean, what are they, the hottest team in the league since December? Is it 9th or 14th?
First or maybe 9th. But like, that's legit.
Something. Whenever they made that change, and it's crazy the stat. Like all it takes is a Google search.
Yeah.
And some of the numbers that like the AI throws at you, it's incredible. But I mean, they have so much firepower. And that building is going to be an absolute just rocking.
I can't believe what KeyBank is going to be like. That place is going to it might collapse. If we're being honest, I wouldn't be surprised.
How do you manage that though? Like that place is going to be so loud, and those players are going to be so hyped. I almost feel like you lose game one because you're not playing within yourself at all.
Yeah, it's like it's trying to find that balance, and it's hard when you're a younger guy. You've never gone through it. Like it's really easy to get caught up in all the hoopla and all that. And it's like I remember there were certain times where like you just come ripping out of the tunnel in warm-ups, and I like if I look down at my heart rate monitor, it'd probably be blinking red. Like if I was actually wearing it, it's like, hey, there are times where you'd have to tell yourself like, hey, dial it back in. Like I don't want to burn too much energy in warm-ups and stuff. But yeah, it's like. That's just playoff hockey. You know, there's going to be so many highs, so many lows. And I know that's so cliche, but it is really true. Like you have to find a way to stay even keel and just know that like there's going to be a significant stretch, and that might be like 40 seconds in your zone, or that could be a significant stretch throughout a game or throughout a series that like you're going to have to flip the script a little bit, and you're going to just have to weather the storm and and pick it up the other way. But knowing that and being comfortable in that is something that you have to lean on and experience, and certainly a disadvantage when you don't have it. But there's also other things that can outweigh that. Like, I mean, how hungry are these guys going to be? How excited are they going to be playing in that arena in the playoffs? So I don't know. That's what makes playoffs fun, right?
I love that factor. And I look at 3 teams in these playoffs. I look at the Sabres, I look at the Ducks, and I look at the Mammoth that kind of have that element of inexperienced young teams. And for my money, the team that is going to be young, dumb, and full of cum, just blasting out the gate, is the Sabres. Like they feel like they're going to be so fucking juiced up to be back in playoffs. That barn going nuts. And don't get me wrong, we know that Delta is going to be bumping as well for the Mammoth, and Honda will be bumping for the Ducks. But like, I think Marty's so spot on. Like, that Sabres crowd and that team, I think they genuinely are like, we're just happy to be here, dude. And I think they're going to be fucking flying when they come out.
Yeah, Dan, it might be like they will run out of steam in round 2, but they just have like an adrenaline shot in the neck for all of round 1, and just like, and then win. And then I'm like, holy shit. I actually do think I picked the Bees. But if the Sabres, I do think the Sabres could steamroll. Like, if it's a quick series, I don't see it being Boston. I see it being, if it's 5, I see it being Buffalo. But if it gets really tight, it's hard for me to pick against Swayman and like McAvoy, these guys, Pasta, these guys that have been in these grueling series before, if it ends up going 7 or something.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the raw numbers, UPL had a better season than Sway by a very thin margin, but Sway, when you look at the deep analytics, Sway's saves above expected were so high this year. There's a reason he's top 5 in Vezina votes right now. He's the difference maker for me. If Boston does take it in 7, I think it's because Sway is going to steal the series, and like Boston's D will lock it in. But I mean, I think this has got to be up there for me as one of the more exciting first round series for sure.
Oh, dude, they probably didn't want Boston. You know, like, I'm sure Buffalo was like, fuck, we should have been Ottawa or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a slippery slope, though.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't be wishing for matchups, because that's when it comes right back and bites you in the ass.
Right.
But the one thing that I will say, I think, like, with Buffalo and how much of an offensive, like, dynamo they are and how high scoring, that's why I kind of thought that it would go deep, because I was like, this might be one of the more higher scoring series.
Yeah.
But what you mentioned, Dan, like, Swayman could put an end to that real quick.
Right.
And it's like, and that's playoffs. You run into a hot goalie, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's like, I think back of that first year when we played against Vegas when I was still on LA. It's like Jonathan Quick gave up 7 goals that series and we lost. You know, because Fleury let up like, I don't know, 4.
Yeah, right.
But like, that's what I mean, where it's like, all of a sudden, like, especially a team that can score the way Buffalo can and how good they are offensively, like a hot goalie, and especially Swayman, like that can be a freight train running into a brick wall right there.
And I want to give the Sabres some credit, because the last, I don't know, 5-8 games of the year, they really wanted that 1 seed. And they showed up. Like, you know, Montreal was losing games, Tampa was losing 100%. Games, and Buffalo earned that 1 seed, playing in games that mattered already. So they're ready to go, dude. Like, this isn't a participation trophy that they're here. They want to win.
No doubt. It's going to be a blast.
Okay, next series. We're staying Atlantic. We're going Tampa, Montreal. Okay, Marty, you're first. Who's winning and how many?
I'm going to go Tampa in 6.
Also Tampa in 6. Ev?
Yeah, I was going to say Tampa in 6, even though I wanted to change it and not be boring, but I'm going to say Tampa in 6 too.
Let's do 4 espresso martinis, boys. Tampa in 6 as well.
Wow.
100% what I was going to say from the jump. I think Tampa's too good. We looked at those metrics earlier this year, CP, where it was like all the teams that have won the cup the last 5 years, the only teams that are top 5 in the league in those metrics, Tampa's the only team. They're obviously very Jekyll and Hyde all year long, and I think they will lock it in here. He's back to Vasi. He's going to win the Vezina. I think Montreal is so good this year, and I think the emergence of Dobesh and Fowler is a huge factor. I'm interested to see who kind of takes that job in net there. So I think they're going to be scrappy, and I think they're going to get good wins. But at the end of the day, I think Tampa's just too good. I will say, though, and Marty, I'm curious your take on this. I think so much of this comes down to Cooch. We have not seen Cooch perform in playoffs like he has performed in the past since the last time they won the Cup. And I think a big part of that has been an Alexander Barkov problem over the last couple of years, and we don't have that problem this year. So I'm very curious to see what his production is like.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of why I edged with Tampa a little bit, just because they're a veteran group. They've been around a while, but they've had a couple, like, I don't want to say down years, but they've ran into Florida a few times, right? And so all of a sudden they don't have that problem anymore. And then Kucherov is, I mean, that guy is just, he's so good. Like and he's
insane.
I think he gets so much credit for good reason on the offensive side of things, but he's responsible the other way too. I mean, he cheats and he leaks a little bit, but yeah, he's just like, he's just a special player. But in terms of Tampa and Montreal, again, there's like a few of these young groups, and I know that they were in it last year too, but Montreal, they're like finding their way, and I think that they're going to take steps, and that's why I think they're going to win a few games. But I don't know. I gotta go with the veteran group that has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder too. And then you go with Coop with coaching, and nothing against St. Louis, but it's like it's John Cooper, and then he's able to push all the right buttons.
Right. And like different also, beast. Marty, like the bullshit people were talking about Coop at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And then for them to just like, you almost feel like Coop has a bit of a fuck you attitude this season too, which is not something you want to come up against for sure.
Well, I think that outfit he was wearing in the outdoor game is pretty indicative of that, but that's like the mentality. Yeah, I agree.
100%.
Dude, I love that you said chip on your shoulder, Marty, because I totally agree. It seems stupid to say that about Tampa, who's won 2 cups, went to 3 cups in the last whatever years. But legitimately, their last few exits, I think they are embarrassed for their standards. So they're like, this is not acceptable to lose to the fucking Canadiens in the first round, which is why I think they're going to step on throats. Ooh. I will say
I don't like that. I don't like that comment, Chris.
What do you mean?
Unacceptable to lose to Montreal. I don't like that.
Oh my God. They would be humiliated if they lost to this Canadiens team in the first round. I'm serious, dude. They'd be like, because they justify last year with Florida. They go, we lost, it was Florida, whatever.
Look how good the Habs were this year. I mean, like they were neck and neck in the standings.
I almost pushed my pick to 7 because of how hot the Canadiens finished. Like I forget what it was, but they literally won like 12 of 14 games to end the year or whatever, because they are feisty. I can't remember what they did against Washington last year. Did they go 6 or was that a 5er?
No, it was a 5er.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 5.
But they're going to be better, which is why I said 6. But I really do stand by that, Dan. I think Tampa, they would never say this publicly, obviously, but I bet those boys would be fucking fuming if they got bounced in the first round to the Habs with home ice.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they certainly would be that. I just don't want to disrespect this Habs team. It's a solid team.
Marty, I think I know your answer, but what do you guys give a shit at all about head-to-head throughout the year? Like when you get your playoff matchup, are you like, oh fuck, they beat us 3 out of 4 times, or it's like it doesn't matter at all?
I guess short answer, no. But it's like something that I guess like if you beat up on a team in the regular season, you can kind of use that as confidence.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you can use it either way you want, but I think all that stuff is like a little kind of like the slippery slope thing, like wishing for a matchup. Like I think, and guys aren't really thinking about that. But then also it's like the playoff game is just an entirely different animal. And I think that there's so many teams that are built for regular season play. And then there's teams that are built for playoff play.
Yeah.
And so it's so different that I don't think it's really fair to look at the year, the matchups throughout the year, because so many things can happen. There's different injuries. Who played that game? Who didn't? Was it on a back-to-back? Where was it in the schedule? And now it's like, everything's level, everything's set. And it's like, we're just 2 teams going at it for 7 games, trying to exploit each team's, inefficiencies, I guess.
Yeah. Marty, I almost brought up the Boston-Buffalo head-to-head. It was like Boston 3-1, but 2 of those Boston wins were in October when Buffalo was playing in the fucking coast. So I'm like, that doesn't matter. Like, no one cares about that.
And Dan, well, in this one, it's interesting because Tampa, kind of same deal. Like, Tampa clipped Montreal twice early in the year, and then the March game and April game, Montreal won. So it's, I mean, to your point, Marty, if you're the Habs, I think you use that going in, being like, boys, we have them. Like, once we started playing hard, we have them. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and every team, like, it's funny, like every season, I mean, even month of the year, every playoff series, every game, like it has its own story and each team has its own story. And so it's like, you know, at the beginning of the year, you obviously have a certain goal in mind and you want to make the playoffs, you want to win a Stanley Cup, but you know, and you're progressively trying to work and build your game so it's at where you want it to become playoff time. But like, that's not linear, right? You know, like you just said, the in October, like the Sabres, and then all of a sudden they find it, and it's like every team's different. So it's like at the end of the year, everything, like all else equal, at this point, it's a clean slate.
Yeah. And Dan, correct me if I'm wrong. I was just trying to look this up. You were saying, you know, you want to see a good series from Cooch here, just to pick it up a little bit. All right, let me see. 6-2. Yeah, kind of. I a tiny bit think we need that from Vasi too in playoffs. I know he's been back to Vasi this year. He's probably going to win the Vezina, but I would say, again, a Panthers problem, but I would say, I think if I'm him, I'm like, I need to have a good series right now.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. I mean, listen, is that team stacked? Do they have insane talent all over that lineup? No doubt about it. And then you add in the fact that, you know, I think we could talk about their defense over the last couple of years. And then you add Radish having a fucking insane performance, like truly out of nowhere. This guy's about to get paid a fucking Brinks truck of money, and well deserved. But Vasi is a massive reason why they won the cups they won and why they went to 3 in a row. So no doubt, like you can't have a mediocre Vasi, but it's like, you know, they were 3rd in the league in goals against this year for a good reason. And that is him.
Dude. The Slapshot, the account, you know, put up each team's best defenseman. Did you guys see this on IG? And it was like
points wise,
you know, it's just like ranking every playoff team's best defenseman, best goalie, whatever. And Radish was really high, obviously. But on the best defenseman, number 1 was Lane Hudson, and then it was like Kale 2, Quinn 3, and I was like, dude. And no offense, Lane is a great player. The comments were like, "Are you insane?"
Clickbait central.
So funny.
Jesus Christ.
God,
that's just stirring the pot. I kind of respect it, actually. Yeah.
I mean, Marty, as far as engagement goes, that's a fucking gold mine, right?
Dude, Marty,
that's the equivalent of like and subscribe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's just like you're just sitting there, you're just stirring the pot.
Yeah. You know what that is? That's that Mad Max meme of that's bait.
Yeah,
exactly.
The caption was like, "Man, this list was hard to make," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, pass."
Yeah.
All right, babes. All playoffs long. BetMGM is turning every shot, every save, and every sudden death thriller into an even bigger win with the Stanley Cup Playoffs Odds Boost token. You know I love an odds boost. I rock them all season. Now we got one cooking in playoffs, and it's bigger and better than ever. Here's how you get in on all the fun. All you have to do is log into your BetMGM account and add an NHL playoff wager to your bet slip. Literally whatever you want. Anytime goal scorer, money lines, puck lines. We're going to have the empty net bets cooking again all playoffs. So you got to chase that with us. You can activate that. Then you just turn on the token. Turn on the Stanley Cup Playoffs Odds Boost token. If your boosted bet hits, you get a bigger payout. Simple as that. And if you are not skating with us, with the BetMGM crew yet, now is the time to jump on the ice. Use bonus code NETTERS. That's NETTERS to receive your welcome offer at sign up. BetMGM, you know how they do it. Make it legendary. We're going to the Met. First series is the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Ottawa Senators, the 1 seed Canes, top seed in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. I'm going first on this one. Then you're up next, Evan. I'm going Canes in 5.
I'm gonna go Senators in 6.
I love that, dude.
God, 6.
Dan, you're up.
Canes in 4.
Whoa, dude. Okay, Marty.
Ooh. I'm going Canes in 5.
Okay. Canes, correct me if I'm wrong, because I say this, I get burned on the Canes every fucking year, but correct me if I'm wrong, this is the best the Canes have been in 5 years.
Been saying it for over a month. I like the Canes this year, boys. I really do.
I mean, I look at it as like, I talked about this the other day. It was, we had lost in 2 conference finals in Vegas. And then it was like going into the playoffs the next year. It's like, hey, we're not doing this again. Like it's time to take this next step. And with them losing, 2 conference finals in the last 3 years?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
But they've been knocking on the doorstep and not really able to get over the hump for whatever reason. But yeah, I think that they're going to be, I don't know. I feel like a lot of a lot of people are talking about other teams in the East, but I think they're gonna. I mean, I don't even want to say surprising because they're unreal, but their style of play too. Like, I don't know why they just can't get beyond that. I think they're so aggressive that I don't know if it's just a hard game plan to sustain, or just you kind of run out of juice a little bit. But it's like, I remember going into games against them, and I never played a playoff series, but like, it was always just, hey, they're going to be coming at you from all different angles. You're not going to be able to have any time to make a play. Just chip it behind them, and then eventually they're going to give up a chance, and we're going to get an odd man rush. So I don't know if it's that, or if it's an energy thing, or what. But yeah, they're so fun to watch. That's why I picked them in 5, because coming out of the gate, especially in their own barn, I don't know, nothing against Ottawa, and I'm excited about that.
I hear you.
Ways.
They've been great down the stretch too. I really want to give them a lot of stick taps because I want to hear your 4 sweep, Dan. But I just thought like you said earlier, Marty, the playoffs is a bit of a different beast. And I was thinking about that Senators-Leafs series last year where Ottawa did have some fight. Remember, they came back.
Absolutely.
I think it was 6, but they fought back. But I just think that Leafs team is susceptible to like playoff drama, whereas this Canes team is kind of a juggernaut early in these rounds. So is that why you think it's a sweep, Dan?
I'm so with Marty. I think 2 things. I completely agree that they are getting overlooked. Everyone's talking about Tampa. Everyone's talking about Buffalo.
Yeah.
And even the Habs. And everyone just continues to sleep on this team that's been the top of the East all fucking year long. And I get it. It's because they always, not always, but they have a history of losing in the conference finals and not being able to nut up when it matters most. I love Bussy this year. I think a big thing with them has been they don't have a superstar, right? We talk about that all the time with the conference finals. They can't get over that final hump because they don't have that superstar. They don't have that Pasternak player. They don't have that, back in the day Stamkos type player, that Eichel type player, Connor, whomever. But I love the committee they've put together. The addition of Ehlers, who has stepped it the fuck up in the second half of the season. Since the Olympic break, Ehlers is like top 6 in the NHL in points. He is a huge addition to Seth Jarvis, who led the team in scoring this year, to Sebastian Aho, who is certifying himself as a number 1 center in the league. They have a great defense. I think special teams is a nightmare matchup in this one. Canes have a top 5 power play. Sens have one of the worst penalty kills in the league. As Marty said at the top, like that is important.
That's trouble.
Playoffs. That's trouble, especially with home ice. So if there is a series for the Canes in these playoffs that I think they're going to come out and fucking sock someone in the mouth and be like, remember us, assholes? This is a good matchup for them to do it. So I could see this being a sweep for sure.
Yeah. Marty, where you at on, I love Bussy too, because he was with Boston for a while and we were always like, this guy could be great. And I've been so happy for him with what he's done with Carolina. For me, the last few years with Carolina, because dude, I was trying to remember what the year they didn't make the conference finals, and it was that Rangers year. Remember, they went down 3-0, were coming back, and people were like, they're literally going to reverse sweep New York, and then they ended up just dumping one. But I kept being like, man, it is goalie. Like, that's their missing piece to get over the hump. With all the respect to Freddie Anderson, I was just like, the other team always has a Bob or something, and that's what gets you. I'm not saying Bussy's Bob yet, obviously, but he does feel like he's playing at a level they haven't had. What's it like being a new goalie in the playoffs, though, when it's like, okay, here we go, this is a different beast? Do you think he can keep his game up to snuff?
Well, I think so. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine what it's like to be a goalie. I mean, if there's anyone that knows what it's like to be a goalie that wasn't quite a goalie, I think it might have been me, because I've been pelted with that many. But yeah, I think it just goes back to like the younger mentality thing, where I was actually talking about this earlier, and I think sometimes being young is actually helpful, because it's like you're kind of naive. Like, maybe you don't, and I'm not saying, he's not aware of the moment that he's stepping in, but it's like you don't really, there's other things that you're worried about, rather than when you've gone through it before, what's ahead, where like some of that just being naive and not knowing is sometimes puts you in a better spot. But I was going to mention that too with the goalie with them. And again, no disrespect to any of their goalies but they've had issues with injury. throughout the year, with the blood clot stuff and then just like a lot of movement. And then he provides a little bit of stability where there's a consistent, there's one guy in there consistently. And then that echoes throughout the team because, not that anyone ever changes the way that you play because of who's in net, but there might be little things, but it's more of just like having that confidence and knowing, and then you can just go about your own business and take care of it. But I think that he's provided a lot for them, and maybe that was the missing piece.
Yeah, dude. True. Do you get like? Dan, I remember last year being like, man, if the Canes get swept in the Eastern Conference Finals again, and then it's like they do. And you're like, anyway, just keep rolling. Next year, we're the 1 seed again. At what point do you lose your fucking mind? Like, I just feel like there is unspoken pressure in that locker room that no one wants to talk about because they don't care. But I'm like, you obviously care.
That's why I pick Senators.
Yeah, like it must be a little sketchy, I think.
Ev's like the trauma is too significant.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. There's always there's always a team that's like been great all year that just hums along like Carolina that doesn't really get noticed, and they're very good and you take it for granted. And look, part of me is just stirring the shit pot just to be different. But the other part of me is just going with my gut and saying like, that could be the team that just gets upset just randomly. And I'm not trying to pick on Carolina. I know they're a very good team. It's just there's usually some narrative like that every playoffs where there's a team that you think is going to fucking win and they get upset. So that's why I went that way. But completely random.
I don't hate it.
It's a gut feeling mostly.
Well, that pressure is real though.
Yeah, dude.
Like that's I talk about this on the broadcast a lot, and it's like, it's real easy to think that these guys are robots, and they're not. They're human beings, and they have the intrusive thoughts all the time. Like, well, hey, what if this happens? What if this happens? And it's like half the time you're sitting there trying to fight it. We were talking about last time I was on, like we're up 3-0 or 3-1 or whatever in the final game against Jersey. And Jonathan Quick sitting there is like, well, if they get 1 and then they get 2 and then they get, I was telling that story, but that's like, that stuff is real. And then having that expectation, with your whole team and then falling short, the last few years, like that's a real thing that creeps in guys' minds. Now I think that they're going to be able to overcome that.
Yeah.
And it's not anything really like worth talking about more than what we are right now. But it's like, you have to acknowledge that it is in fact there from time to time. It's not like something that it's just like, oh, well, we just talk about it. Like, I'm sure it's crossed their minds a lot, maybe even addressed.
No doubt about it. I mean, if you think about being on this Canes team, if you make it to the conference final and you give up the first goal in the first game of the conference final, there is no planet where you don't go,
we're dead.
It has to happen. Like, there's just no planet where you don't feel that way. So you're absolutely right. It is real.
I think there's been moments like I was on the ice where it was like, you have those games where it's just like things aren't going your way. And I've actually audibly said like, oh God, like after goal, like just to myself.
Yeah.
But if I was mic'd up, like the truck would have caught it for sure. Right. Like, oh God, here we go again.
Yeah.
It's just one of those nights.
You're looking at the camera crew and you're like, cut that.
Yeah. That's gone.
Just this one. Yeah.
Yep. And I've got to believe all those feelings are 2 times scarier when Rod's your coach. Like, you just look at the bench and Rod's there, like vein going in the temple.
Gonna beat you up.
Fuck.
Yeah. I bet he's going through it worse than anyone.
Yeah. Good point, Dan. Good point.
But I think he'll get the guys going though.
Yeah,
like I agree.
The boys love playing. For anyone that I've ever talked to there, they absolutely love that guy. So, I mean, he's obviously a really intense dude. So he'll have him going.
We talk to Jarvie about it all the time. Like, I can't think of a player and a coach with more dissimilar personalities, and the way Jarvie absolutely loves that dude, I'm like, this guy clearly has the locker room in such a special way. So yeah, I think they'll be buzzing.
Dan, I think if they could get, I don't know how much room is back there on the bench, but I've been on the crypto bench. Like, that's bigger than the beer league bench. I think if Rod got a squat rack back there just to blow off some steam, we're hemmed in and he's just front squatting, and they look up and they're like, just chip it out, boys. Like, Rod's got the weights going.
Chris, you say some dumb shit sometimes. That was not one of them. That is one of the best ideas I've ever heard in my life, and I need to see it. I need to see that.
If that doesn't get the juices pumping, I don't know what does.
Okay. I just want to see Carolina go down 2 early. You pan over to the bench and Brendan Moore's just ripping out.
Yeah.
Just 10 quick, 225. a couple wheels on each side, and he's just ripping out a few bench press, a few squats. Yeah,
shirtless, shoulder pressing behind the bench, deadpan.
God, Kane's on the power play. You know, he's just PRing on the bench. You're like, holy fuck. Oh my God, we need it. Come on, get it done. Okay, next one, Evan. Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Philadelphia Flyers. What a fucking first round matchup, boys. Ev, I didn't even do this on purpose, but you're up first on this one. That's elite work by me. Who you got and in how many?
Let me think here.
Get close to that mic, Ev. I can barely hear you.
Oh yeah, Flyers in 4. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
I would say Penguins in 6.
Okay, calm pick. Dan?
I'm gonna go Pens in 7. I love I think the rivalry is gonna be strong. The Pens are gonna take it.
Marty?
Yeah, Pens in 7.
I love it, boys. I'm going with you, Ev. Pens in 6. I almost said Pens in 7 out of respect for the Flyers. They are pesky as fuck this year, and I'm so happy they're in. But special teams, Dan. This felt like a special teams problem.
Yeah, I think we got playoff Sid again. I think that's going to be so special. And you know what, boys? I'm saying it. I think we're going to get a Skinner redemption tour, at least in this round. I think Stu's really excited to shut some naysayers up. And, you know, their goals against this season hasn't been great, and that's not just Skinner. But, I mean, this team can score, man. This Penguins team can fucking put the puck in the net.
I saw a stat that was incredibly surprising. Apparently, it's the highest scoring season for a team that in the Crosby era for the Penguins, which I'm like, that seems wild to me.
Wow, is that true?
That is true, yeah. Like probably by a couple
nuts.
percent, like a few decimal percentage points. But like you think about past 20 years, that this team is the highest scoring one is
it's wild.
That's what they needed because the goaltending's not as great.
Yeah, I'd like to actually do a background to see what the league has done.
Yeah.
Good call.
Like behind that.
Right.
Well, because it's like we're talking about Crosby. The guy's been playing forever, right? Yeah. And it's like the offense has gone up, but I wonder where that would be.
Yeah. Let me see.
Because like we got guys pumping in 150 points a year now, and that was not happening like right in the middle of his career. It's still a crazy stat. This series scares me a little bit as a Sid ball glazer my whole life. I'm so happy he's back in the playoffs. I want them to do well so he can not just limp in and get beat in the first round. But of course it's the fucking Flyers. Of course it's an upstart Flyers who are playing out of their fucking mind. Dan, oh yeah, I meant to say this. I would add them in of those teams you listed earlier, like Ducks, Mammoth, Sabres. I would throw Flyers.
Dude, they have 3 guys who are collecting Social Security money on this team.
I just meant 5-6 years without playoffs, like the fans going insane. They got young guys. Yeah. So they scare me a little bit.
Gino, Sid, and Tanger are collecting their pension on that.
Yeah, but Flyers, not Penguins.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the Penguins. I was like, what?
No, yeah, the Flyers, rabid fan base. Yeah, like they're going to be going nuts.
Definitely.
They scare me big time. So not my dream matchup for Pittsburgh. I know you're happy of just because it's fun to bet.
Well, I mean, look, it's to me, this is what I live for as a fucking Penguins fan. But it is scary because, like, there are guys on local Pittsburgh radio saying, like, I would rather them miss the playoffs than lose to the Flyers. Yeah. It is that hard. Seriously, they you don't want to be embarrassed by the fucking Philadelphia people because that rivalry is so heated. You know what I mean? To get back on what you were talking about, Alec, the goal trends. This is the 5th season with at least 6 goals per game. We're in a very high scoring era, which would probably make sense for that trend because the Penguins have been ass for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Marty, do you feel like when you've been on the road, do you think Philly's a tougher barn to play in?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you just go to Philly sports fans. And it's not anything that the Flyers do or don't, or the Pens do or don't. It's Philadelphia.
You know what I love about Philly fans on that note is like we've been talking to a bunch of friends who are Philly sports fans. They're Birds fans. Maybe they don't dial into hockey as much. They're going to be in that barn. Like the second this team made playoffs, all those fucking rabid Philly fans are like, yep, we're on board. And that makes it insane to be in there. So it'll be
that's
it'll be
a dangerous combo there.
Yeah.
You get people that are in there and haven't been following all year, and they just want to rip somebody's head off. Like, yeah, that's a dangerous recipe.
They're there for blood party. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those fans are mercenaries. They're sellswords. They're just like, yep, I'm in here to fucking punch some Penguins fan in the face, and you're like, good God.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Side note, like my parents, my sister was living in New York City, so they came down. My mom flew out to New York, and they came down on the train to watch my game in Philly. This was, I think I was still in LA, but it was the only place that my parents went where the fans like told her like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
right
to her face.
Yeah.
And we're just giving it to my family after like standing up and clapping after a goal that we had scored. So it was like, this place is ruthless. I'm pretty sure like they don't even like each other.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
so true, dude. So
and I mean
true.
that as a compliment. It's an awesome place, an awesome environment.
Motherfucking a player's mom is insane.
It's insane.
It's genuinely that scene from Mr. Deeds. It's like, oh, these your friends? I don't like them.
Yeah.
So unhinged.
Yeah, the
I
name
absolutely
City
love
of
it.
Brotherly Love is just the most ironic fucking name ever. But
Yeah.
Oh, God,
wow.
that's true.
Great point. But dude, Sid, playoff Sid is still a force in my mind. Is that true just till he retires? Or like,
Yes.
yeah. Like, I just think
Absolute
there's no way in a playoff series the Flyers are going to beat Sidney Crosby. That feels impossible. To me.
You can drop the playoff from that. Sid is still a force. Like he hasn't slowed down at all. It's insane.
He will will them to this victory.
Yeah,
I think
whatever vampire blood Jennifer Lopez is drinking, Sid is drinking it right next to her because he's just like the same player he was 15 years ago.
yeah,
Has he got a big butt?
huge.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, he does. It's
Marty,
legendary.
You know as well as anyone that guy's dragging a
Actually,
wagon
yes.
just like J-Lo.
I know he is. He's pretty good at parking it in front too. He's hard to move. I can't imagine J-Lo on a pair of skates.
Dude, how did we not
maybe
see
an
the
idea.
connection? Yeah, how did we not see this connection? It was the ass, the big ass, the J-Lo ass. That's what got him here. That's
But back to Sid though, like I think that's where I talk about that playoff experience, and you go back and you kind of lean on that a little bit, where it's like, and staying even keel, where that's where guys like that have been around for so long, they stay effective because they've been in those situations before. I mean, like name a situation, and Sid's seen it, and I mean far more than anything I ever had in any setting. And so it's like that's where he has like, it's like, all right, well, I've been in this spot before, and he has like this level of comfort, and that's why.
Yeah.
And then tack on all the skill and all that.
yeah.
Stuff,
Also, he's gross. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that worries me is just because it's the rivalry, will it turn into like the 2012 playoff debacle where they just got so angry and mucking it up that it ended up falling apart for the Penguins, you know?
Well, that's why I like 7 Ev, because I do think I think that this is plan C is combat for the Flyers. I think that they're going in knowing that this is going to be gritty. They, no pun intended. But.
Plus, Tocchet, he's coached the Penguins, so he might know a few
true.
buttons to push.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was an
there's
assistant.
no way this
so.
Flyers team is going in and going, we're going to win playing, clean up and down the ice hockey. They're going to have to win getting in the dirty areas.
Yeah.
They don't.
Dan,
So
you said this earlier. I meant to bring this up. And I'm not saying I'm predicting this, but there is a chance. Like Stuart Skinner has gotten incredibly nuclear at times during the last 2 playoff runs. He has also gone ice cold and probably cost his team a cup in situations. But there are stretches where he's like 3 shutouts in a row, So it would be epic if he got really hot in the middle here and the Penguins went super deep. Don't rule that out. It's possible.
Agree. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're kicking to the West. First series in the Central.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Before we do this, I wanted to say this at the top of the episode. I can't believe I forgot to say it. But CP, Marty, on my way here to England, I had a layover in Chicago, and you bet your ass that I went to American Dogs and I got myself a dog.
Did you?
I sure did.
Oh my God, dude. That is awesome.
Guys,
you were starving. You texted me you were hungry. I believe you did that.
I was starving. I had about 15 minutes of a layover. I sprinted to American Dogs. I was in Chicago. I got myself a Chicago dog. And God bless the people on that flight sitting next to me because I was polluting that
Cookie.
plane. like a fucking absolute oil spill. It was terrible.
Yeah, just great. Have a Chicago-style dog and sit in a steel tube 30,000 feet in the air for the next 10 hours of your life.
Correct.
Sounds like a great life decision.
So I'll tell you this. What I'm looking at it was market research for our dog tour. Whenever we get our dogs, we need at least a 10-hour period before we get on a plane to go to the next one.
Yeah, before we fly to the next one. All right, let's take an ad break and we'll be right back. All right, I got to talk to you guys about Lucy because it is the obvious no-brainer, top-of-mind choice for true nicotine pouch connoisseurs like you. That's why they are the official nicotine pouch partner of Almost Friday. We got them all over the office, and I'm taking them with me every chance I get. I'm out on the golf course. I'm before beer league. I'm sitting at home watching playoffs. Lucy is the go-to. The pouches go up to 12 milligram strength, and they have a unique shape that feels great. It's thinner. It's a little bit lighter. It's awesome. They have the breakers, which are nicotine pouches with an extra surprise, where each pouch holds a hydrating capsule that will crack with your teeth for an instant burst of long-lasting flavor. And don't even get me started on the flavors. They are tremendous. They're the only ones doing it like them. And it's such an added bonus. It's amazing. They're now in stores nationwide, and you can find a retailer near you. And you can also get them on ASAP on apps like DoorDash, GoPuff, all that good stuff. It's amazing. So Lucy is the only pouch that delivers a long-lasting, on-demand flavor. Find a store at lucy.co/stores. That's .co, C-O. Or get it shipped with 20% off your first order at lucy.co/netters using code netters. That is NETTERS. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every customer is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. It's time for a little Dr. Squatch deodorant action, which means it's time for you to let your stick do the talking, okay? Megan Fox can be your grooming coach. How does that sound? Sounds pretty good to me, all right? Because Professor Fox is in. Megan Fox is out here schooling guys on their deodorant game as Professor Fox at the FOX, which is the Foundation for Odor Excellence. That is genius. Dr. Squatch is genius. Megan Fox is genius. It's amazing. And if she is telling you to upgrade your stick, you probably should, because we've all been there with pit stains. You got the dark marks on the shirt. Every time we're doing an interview, I'm sweating through everything I got on. Ruins your favorite tees. Everyone on earth has your worst pit stain story. So it would be incredible to get rid of that and never have to worry about it again. I would love that very much. And they've got this new product, this invisible glide deodorant. It's natural, aluminum-free, 72-hour protection. Come on. No more pit stains ruin these first impressions. It goes on invisible, obviously. So you're not leaving any white marks on anything you own. It's available in stores. It's available online. It's amazing. Okay? Upgrade your stick. Head to drsquatch.com or find Dr. Squatch in stores. Let your stick do the talking. Now we're on to the Western Conference. We have the 1 seed, the President's Trophy Colorado Avalanche versus our hometown Los Angeles Kings, Marty's alma mater. What do we got, boys? And Dan, you're starting.
Yeah, fuck. I'm going to go Avs in 7.
Oh, okay. Good fight.
I'm saying it's going to be a fight.
Yep. Marty?
I mean, you guys know the answer to this. I'm going to go, I'll go Kings in 7. Yes. The Kings in whatever.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have to. I'm not
You
going
have to.
Yeah.
You literally have to. God, you know what bums me out? I wanted the Oilers. I wanted Kings Oilers. And I know a lot of Kings fans did.
So
they were
did
just
I.
like, get it out of my face.
Yeah.
But I was so ready to sit here and say Kings in 4 against the Oilers because I was just like, it's got to happen. Like it has to switch. Give me, God, I love the 7 call, Dan. What's crazy is if I think it's 7, the Kings will win.
I agree.
Give me Avs in 6 because I just think they're so good this year. But I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this, Dan.
Go.
Give me Avs in 6.
Kings in 4. No, that's what my heart wants me to do because they're my adopted team. Logically, I would say Avs in 6.
Okay. Dan, the floor is yours. This is controversial.
Yeah. Listen. Up until the hilarious end of season losses to Vancouver and Calgary, the Kings were the hottest team in the month of April. People forget that. I think this team has the ability to look like the best team in the league and then one of the worst teams in the league in the same game, night in and night out. It's insane. And as we've said, the Avs have slipped and scooted a bit here the last part of the year. Now they're still number 1 in the league in goals for and goals against. That's pretty fucking good. I do think if there's a sweep, it's the Avs. If it goes the distance, I think it is Avs are melting down and the Kings absolutely have a chance to steal it. So like Marty's, or the Kings have a chance to steal it. So Marty's Kings in 7 call, I love. I've said it this whole time, and I'm not saying I'm doubting anybody, but you have 2 goalies who played a tandem all year, who are fantastic all year, and Wedgwood is top 5 in Vezina voting, and he deserves to be right there. He's had great numbers all season. Neither of them have playoff experience. And I think Wedgwood's going to get the start. And when it comes to playoff hockey, with a very motivated Kings team, I'm very, very curious to see how he plays. That's all I keep saying.
Okay, Marty, how can the Kings win this series?
I think they have to keep things simple. I think they have to they really have to play strong defensively, and that seems like, oh well, duh, against Colorado. But I think my point is that I think they need, if they want to be successful, they have to frustrate McKinnon. And obviously, I mean, there's a lot, they have a ton of firepower, but yeah, I think that's kind of the 2 keys to success for them. But just playing simple hockey and kind of doing what made them one of the hottest teams, before the last, games 81 and 82.
Yeah.
But I think another sneaky thing is that these guys love Kopi too. I think that whole, like we'll get into it later when I talk about Vegas, but like having something like that is a really powerful thing. And I think if guys are wanting to play for him, which I know they are, because I know how he's, revered in that room. I just don't sleep on that aspect of it.
That's amazing.
Not to make it all about him, because I know that he would not want that at all. But I think that's like kind of a sneaky X factor that could be creeping in, especially later in the series, like you said, Dan.
Okay, so I have 2 questions about that. First one is, did you win it? Did any of your teams win the President's Trophy, Marty? Have you been a part of a team that did that?
No, we came close that COVID year.
Yeah. So do you think, obviously there's the President's Trophy curse and all that shit. Do you read into just the added pressure of that when you're so expected and you're the heavy Vegas favorite? Is that a factor?
I don't know. I mean, I think it is like kind of the kiss of death sometimes. Like, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I was disappointed we didn't get the bonus for winning the President's Trophy. Like, I'll be honest about that. But like, I was like, I haven't thought about it since until you brought it up just now. Like, I mean, it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm okay with not.
It's like, whatever, who cares? So my second question was going to be kind of what you just alluded to, where I totally think the deeper this series goes, the way more it favors the Kings, because now they're playing for Kopi and they're believing, and Colorado is now tweaking because they're like, holy fuck.
Because Colorado was supposed to sweep them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you can get an early steal, dude, you steal one fucking game in Colorado, all of a sudden it's like, and now everyone's thinking about it.
Seed of doubt.
It's interesting. It feels like there's an element of, I can so see Colorado coming out here and being a powerhouse. Right now they're getting the treatment of, I feel like half the people online are being like, this is the best team we've seen in years. They're going to steamroll everybody. And then we have some people being like, don't sleep on Colorado slipping up. And Nate is the type of guy, and Kale is the type of guy who sees that and they're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And they could roll on.
Suck me. Yeah.
Like there's no doubt. I do think the Kings have an opportunity here. You're not playing Edmonton for the first time in 5 fucking years. That's
amazing.
You have the opportunity of you're playing with house money. Like there was a month and a half long stretch where it felt like they weren't going to make playoffs in Kopi's last year. They went on this awesome April run. They made playoffs. They're pretty fired up right now. And like Marty said, if they win a game, if you win game 2 in Colorado, you feel great. And Colorado is like, are you kidding me? So this could be a big Momo type of series. But I do think, I mean, again, this is almost one of those things for me. Like, we're going to find out real quick. We're going to find out period 1, game 1, what Colorado we're getting here. And it could be scary.
hilarious to be facing Connor for 4 years in a row, and then your consolation prize this year is Nate in the first round. You're like, yeah, sick. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
I guess it was almost Connor again. But Dan, I want to go back to the goalie thing. I actually think that's a really good point by you. I know you've been dogging on the Avs a little bit, but that...
No, I haven't.
Or you've just been saying... Well, you've been saying they're potential playoff frauds, or maybe we can cut that if you didn't want that in the pod. But that's what you've been saying in text.
I'm saying there's a fear that happens, right? Because they've lost in the first round 2 years in a row. Am I wrong?
Yep.
Like there's the fear that if they lose in the first round again, then you're like, dude, what is the excuse here now? That's all I'm saying.
And I like that it's Kemper on the other side who won a cup with them. Like that's their guy, you know. Like that's kind of a factor.
Shit. I'm glad you said that.
Is it Forsberg that's going to play?
Yes,
you think?
Marty. Thank you. That was
interesting. Okay.
Like, do they start Forsey here? Like he's been red hot in April.
I obviously don't know. I don't have any inside track, but I mean, he's been really hot. In this situation, I think you got to ride the hot hand.
What if he goes? What if you start him and then what does the score have to be in game one that you go back to Kemper game two? Like if it's a close game loss, you stay, but blowout loss, you switch, or what do you do there?
Yeah, it's got to be like 7-1 or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Right. Yeah. No, I think he's right, because if you make the call, you got to own it. You got to stick with it. You can't just be like, never mind, we're idiots.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, a lot of eyes on that.
I do not envy Smitty in that situation.
Yep. God, that's going to be fun. I'm pumped the boys got in. Okay, next one. Wow, this one's all time. Stars Wild, 2-3 in the Central. One of those series that everyone gets pissed that they hate the playoff format because this happens in the first round, but boy, does it give us some fireworks. Marty, you're up. Who you got in and how many?
I think I'm going to go Minnesota in 7.
Dude, I cannot believe you just said that. I thought that's exactly what I was going to say. I don't even know if I think it's going to happen. It just felt like something was in the air. I thought I was going to be the dark horse. I'll say it too. Ev, what do you got?
I was going to say Minnesota. Yeah, 7, maybe 6, but let's go with 7.
Espresso martinis, boys.
No way. God, we're all idiots. We're all idiots.
Watch them get swept now.
I love the metrics matchup here. These teams are so similar.
It's so good, Dan. God,
like
and their games have been amazing. Look at the games they've played this year.
I mean, a 2-2 head-to-head this year. Their rankings are so similar, like crazy similar, frankly. I think their power plays are 2-3 in the league, and their PKs are 12-15 in the league. Like they are very, very similar. I don't know, man. I think Bill, I think Quinn and Fabes are gonna ride the USA train. Like I think there's still a little and Boldy, like there's juice in that drink still. I can see it. I can see that momentum being a factor.
I do think that the Stars are better. What do you guys think? Like I obviously just picked Minnesota in 7. I legitimately think the Stars are better than the Wild.
I think I agree. I think just like genuine head-to-head tail of the tape, I do think the Stars are the stronger team.
I agree with that too, but the reason why I gave Minnesota the edge is because they have like what I would call hard skill.
Okay, what does that mean?
And like that.
Just they play the game hard. I mean, they're very skilled. They obviously, go run a list through, all of their players and put the puck in the back of the net. But I think that they're going to be really, really hard to play against because they have that other side. And not to say that Dallas doesn't, because they've got, I've got the 2 twin towers on the back end and Myers and Bischel. But I don't know. I always thought like I matched up against Minnesota a couple times when I was in Vegas, and they were just genuinely hard series. And going into that building, it's hard to win at the Excel Center. And then the style of play that they have, like, you go down, like Eriksson Ek is going to be a pest. You have Hartman. You've got both Folignos now. They're going to try to put you in the first row eating nachos, and I just like, and they just have this hard skill that I think is, like some teams are, I can't remember if I mentioned it today, but it's like some teams are built for the regular season and some are for the playoffs. Yeah. And this Minnesota team seems like the epitome of a team built for a 7-game series in playoff hockey. Because if Dallas gets out of this series, then there's they're going to be banged up and they're going to be feeling it.
Dude, and they're Marty, they're already banged up. Like, I think officially Rupe is out for game one, and Miro is still a massive doubt for game one. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're one of your top 2-3 forwards, and your obvious clear top 1 defenseman is now either out and hurt, or at least certainly hurt throughout the remainder of that series. Like, that's fucking terrible. That is a big factor.
And don't forget how tough Minnesota played Vegas last year. Like that was nuts. I picked Vegas to sweep that series, and then Minnesota was like not here to get pushed around. I expect that same thing. And Dallas, obviously, it's not fair to play the Avs in the first round, but Dallas probably should have lost that series last year. And then Moose had a hattie in the last 3 minutes, and you're like, oh my God. So they kind of pulled that one out of their ass too. But it is crazy to me that this is the battle, because it's essentially Dallas is essentially the Canes of the West, where it's like, oh, we lose in the conference finals every year. And then the Wild is essentially the Leafs of the West, where they're like, we lose in the first round every year. So it's like two different types of pressure for those locker rooms. Dallas is like, we have to get over the hump. Our window's closing. And Minnesota's like, please God, win a fucking round. So it's a lot of mental games going on there.
I hate it. I hate that these two teams are playing in the first round, but holy shit, is this going to be a wild and fun series? No.
And this is the round the league wants, right?
Yes.
Like, that's why they have the seeding like this. And it sucks because one of these teams is going home after it. But I mean, yeah, this is probably the one series I'm most excited about.
Same.
And it's like truthfully must watch.
Completely agree.
I have a question about that. Do you think that the league wants it that way? Because it's almost like they want to hook. They were trying to get more fans, and it's like if you get them early with a great series rather than making them wait, like it's easier momentum.
They've said that. Like that's
what they've said. Okay,
like that they are very open about that being.
I just feel like this year, especially, it's been like I think more people are watching. I don't know. It just feels like the temperature. There's more people caring about what's
and it's
going
also
on in the NHL.
In a vacuum. It's awesome that you would get Dallas, Minnesota in round 1, Colorado, either one of them in round 2. Obviously, a good finals match. It just kind of creates epic matchups the whole way through the playoffs, which in a vacuum is cool. It sucks for those teams because you're like, great, I have and it sucks, dude. This always goes under the rug. It sucks for the coaches and GMs because their heads roll when they go, oh, you lost in the first round 2 years in a row. And you're like, well, I lost to the fucking best team in the league,
right?
And I was the second best team in the league. So that is a bullshit stat on my
it's
resume.
Like, it's hilarious. We were just talking about, people were talking about John Cooper being fired.
Yeah.
He lost
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. And Stanley Cup winners. It's like, he lost to the Stanley Cup winner. Like, what the fuck do you want,
Ridiculous.
So it's great for new fans. It's bad for the old heads who want to see it the old way.
I guess this kind of is how it breaks. But Marty, you were saying whoever wins this limps into the next round. I kind of feel that way too about the Western Conference Final. Like the Pacific is a pillow fight per McDavid, but the winner of that division is going to get a beat to death like Colorado, Dallas, or Minnesota, And I'm like, oh, now you might go to the final just because they killed each other on the way here, which is insane.
Yeah.
Okay, next series. All right, here we go, Marty. We're going Vegas. We're going to the Pacific. The 1 seed Vegas Golden Knights versus the first time technically in the playoffs ever Utah Mammoth. And it's me first, right? Okay, let me go. Okay, maybe this is my fucking crazy one. I'll go Mammoth 7 because of the Pillow Fight Pacific and just, man, they feel juiced up out in Salt Lake City. Evan, what do you got?
Wow, this is truly the Saints versus the sinners, isn't it? This is a fun match. And for that reason, I'm gonna go Vegas. I'm gonna go Vegas in 5 because I think the Mammoth players are gonna go to Vegas and be all distracted by all the sinful dude. Whoa, yeah.
Dan, what do you got?
I'm gonna go Vegas in 6.
Yeah, Marty.
I'm going Vegas in 5.
Yeah, it might be too much. Okay, how did they find their game then? Like, what do you like about Vegas right now compared to most of the year?
Well, I think I kind of touched on it earlier and said I'd get to it, but the team 10 games ago versus now, and obviously them going 7-0-1 since the coaching change.
So awesome.
Torts has been really, really good for those guys, but I think it's just it's belief, and they've talked about that at length in their post-game press conference and things like that. But the spirit, Krim said that, he felt the spirit was gone beforehand. And that's a pretty powerful thing. Right. And I think that, it was always in there, but when you're not, like, confidence is a funny thing where it's the hardest thing to build up and it's the easiest thing to lose. Right.
Yeah.
And that's where they were. But then now they've built that up. They're playing really good hockey. And I don't know. It's just, I go back to that. And I think that that's going to be a huge difference maker for them, because beforehand there was hesitancy in their game. Like, even if it was just a half a second each decision, it slowed them down as a team. And then now they don't have that. And they're flying. I mean, I worked the broadcast the other night, and they're throwing behind the back passes, like against the Winnipeg, like multiple, and nothing like irresponsible, but like just confident. Like, you don't, if you're not playing, with a little bit of swagger, like, that's not even crossing your mind.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But the fact that they're doing it, I don't know, it just speaks volumes to them. So that's what I think, like, that whole belief factor is just a dangerous element, in the same way that Kopi, the guy's playing and wanting him to have success in his last playoff run. So it's that's the kind of thing when you have like an inner drive or something collectively to use to try to create a little momentum, it goes a long way.
Dan?
I think are we seeing I know Wild Bill's out for at least the beginning of this series, but even with Wild Bill out, are we looking at the best top 9 in the NHL right now? Honestly, like, is it better than Colorado? The fact that you've got a potentially third line with Tomas Hertl and Riley Smith on there, and when Wild Bill is back in there, like, that's insane.
Yep. And
So,
I would just add on that, Dan, like, when you guys won, Marty, that was like the rolling of lines felt suffocating. It was even just watching, you were like, holy shit, there is never an off shift for Vegas.
And I think people forget that genuinely, Vegas has been weird. Obviously, Stone was out for a little while. Wild Bill's been out. People forget that they got Ras Anderson. Like, that's an insane addition to that blue line. I think this team's very good. I love how they look under Torts, like Marty just said. I think Utah's going to play great. I think they've got such a great team. The Uyghur being on that blue line is unbelievable for them. I do think goaltending is going to be very interesting here. Like, what is Veggie going to do for them in Utah? And then is it Hart for Vegas? And
what do you think, Marty?
I think that they're going to go with Hart, and that's not like, I don't have an inside track either. I don't ask guys about that by any means, but I think you can just read the tea leaves. He started 6 of the last 7.
Yeah.
And then they had the record that they had. Mm-hmm. Would they get they got 15 of the last 16 points available, to seal the division.
7-0-1 under Torres.
Yeah. And so I think that that's another big element. If they can shore up that just a little bit, and if he can produce and a consistent effort for them, I think that's going to go a long way.
And Dan, you know what's funny, man? I think I think you said, what'd you say, 5 or 6 or whatever? You obviously picked them reasonably confidently. Vegas is an interesting one to me, where I'm casting doubt and questions on them with my pick. But if they get going, I think they're so dangerous. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like, if Hart starts playing well, they get Bill back and the lines are going again, all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I remember why they were a preseason top 4 Stanley Cup favorite. No one wants to run into a rolling Vegas team coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, I think they're playing playoff hockey before they get there. Yeah. And that's not to say that it's going to be an easy transition, but like, if you draw up, previously, before those last 8 games, like, not ideal by any means.
Correct.
Right? But if you draw up like how you want to go into a playoff, the last 8 games, 7-0-1, and then you consistently played the same goalie, you didn't have injuries, you got the same lineup going in it, like, you really can't draw it up any better than that. So that's why, like, I don't want to say that they're rolling already, because playoffs are a different animal, but they set themselves up in the best possible way, considering, all of the all of the situation that they had to deal with before.
And such a unique one, Marty. Like we said this when it happened, but we've pretty much never seen this coaching change this late. And it almost, you used this word earlier, but it almost simplified it for them, where it was like, hey, just go stop questioning everything that's happening on the ice. Go play with confidence. Go play with swagger. And the results were immediate. So yeah, it's scary with that change. That'll be a good one. I'm pumped for that series. Okay, and then the last one we got, Oilers Ducks. Crazy end to the Pacific here. It took the last second, but that's the series. Oilers hosting the Ducks. Evan, you're starting. Who you got?
Oilers and Ducks, the stoppable force and the movable object. I'm going to go Oilers in 6 just because of the McDavid factor.
Yep. Dan?
I think Oilers in 5.
Marty?
I'm going to go Oilers in 6.
And I also had Oilers in 5, Dan, and I'm bummed because I was 2 weeks ago, I would have certainly picked the Ducks to win a playoff series. But what a fucking April, dude. Holy hell. All right, Dan, what happened?
I just think the Ducks are too... I love this Ducks team.
Me too.
Obviously. I think they're so fun. Future's as bright as can be. They're too leaky. I mean, they're way, way too fucking leaky. For as much talent as they have on the blue line, I don't think enough of those guys have figured out how to really lock down and take care of teams' top lines. They give up so many goals, and the Oilers score so many goals.
Yeah.
So I think this is also going to be a situation of you're playing catch up a lot. I think they're going to be chasing games. I think they're going to be taking dumb penalties, and the Oilers are going to get power plays, and they score on the power play.
That's what scares me, dude. 4 years in a row I've watched the Oilers, even last year or whichever year it was, we were like, oh, the Kings have a great PK this year. It's going to be different. And then literally every Oilers power play they get in the playoffs, they score. Now,
it's unbelievable.
No Leon changes that power play a little bit, but just still that Connor wheeling around in the power play scares me so much in a playoff series.
Yeah. And say what you will about Bush and his game, but he's been an absolute weapon on the power play. So, while you've missed Leon, maybe that has provided Bush the opportunity to do even more on the power play, which is why he's having the year he's having. I just don't see this being fun for the Ducks.
Yeah, I'm kind of on board with that too, where I'm like, this is a young group that's taken a lot of strides this year, and they were atop of the division, the pillow fight division. But they're still atop of the division for a significant chunk of the time, kind of going back and forth with Vegas and stuff. But I just worry a little bit about just a young group, their first time kind of going into a situation like this. And like Dan mentioned, the leakiness aspect. I mean, the moves that they made at the deadline, I think, verified that they're probably thinking the same thing, like bringing in Carlson. And it's like, that's, if you want to talk about a leak and the best plumber around to plug something up on the back end, it's John Carlson. I still can't believe that happened, by the way, that he was even available. But I think just them making that move kind of validates your opinion on it. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun series, but it's going to be that's a tough juggernaut to run into with a young group, especially with McDavid in the mix.
Yeah. I mean, there is a chance, guys, that every fucking game in this series is like 6-5, which will be a blast for us.
Yeah, true.
Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Not for the coaches.
I'm bummed because they seem so exciting. They are exciting. They're a really exciting team. I'm genuinely pumped about their future. But it was like, man, they seem to me most of the year like the team, you don't want to run into this team in the playoffs because they're so young. And like you said, Dan, they're the Sabres. They're the Sabres of the West. They're young, dung, and full of cum and ready to go. But now I'm like, they are the team you want to run into because you're like, we can score 1 million goals and have our way with them, especially if you're the Oilers team who've been to the finals in the last 2 years.
I am excited about John Carlson in the playoffs playing for this team. I'm excited about Chris Kreider in the playoffs playing for this team. And then, of course, how can you not get excited about the idea of, take it to the rookies or young guys, Beckett, Lacombe, and then you got Terry, McTavish, and obviously Carlson playing in playoffs for the first time. Like, that's exciting. I like the idea, what Marty said, of like being young and in the playoffs can be a huge advantage. And you mix that with some very good veteran leadership, and guys like Kreider is a playoff performer. we could see some fireworks from this team. But
is there any chance for any of us? Is there any chance that the Oilers get clipped? Because they're worse than they were. Leon's hurt, et cetera, et cetera. Is there any chance this, like, we all picked the Oilers pretty confidently, but is there upset alert at all? Or you think not in a million years?
Absolutely.
For me, yes, but it is one way, and it is Dostal exercising the ghost of John Sebastian Jaguar's playoff. Like, truly. If Dostal goes comatose and truly loses his mind, and we see a genuine goaltender steal, they could clip them. Otherwise, I think this is the perfect, even with the Kings being an option, I think this was the perfect first-round matchup for Edmonton.
Oh, as in, like, that's what they wanted. They wanted the Ducks.
I think... Again, I know that any Edmonton fan would see the Kings and be like,
feed me
sleepwalk to round 2.
Yeah.
But I do think that this is the best matchup for them.
Yeah. What do you think, Marty? This is Edmonton easy?
I mean, it's the playoffs, right?
Yeah,
so anything can happen. Yeah. I mean, I don't see Anaheim doing that, but I mean, I could be sitting here in 2 weeks' time and eating shit. So I don't know, but yeah, the JSG Gare like thing, interesting throwback for one, because all I think of is like another throwback series between Edmonton and Anaheim when Kessler would just literally just stand next to McDavid and follow him around the ice. That was like the worst playoff series I ever watched, because I was like, this is just like, this is sucks. Wild. But this sucks. Let the kids play, But yeah, so I don't know. Anything can happen for sure, but I got to give it to Edmonton.
Yeah, the Oilers, God, and they're another one where, just like I said about Vegas, here I am wondering if they can get upset, casting doubts, and then I also, on the other hand, won't be shocked at all if I blink and they're in the Western Conference Finals, in a bloodbath headed back to the finals. So yeah, they're crazy. Stars Wild is everyone's favorite series. Is that correct? That's the one I'm looking forward to most.
Yes. Yep.
I think so. Yeah. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. In terms of matchup. Yeah.
Yep. And then you will reserve your right to change these after round 1. I'm not locking any of these in stone, but if you had to guess today who the Stanley Cup final matchup will be, who do you got?
Anyone can go if they're ready.
Do we have to give an answer?
Yeah, I agree, Marty. I don't want to do it. Fuck you, Chris.
It's for fun.
Yeah. I go, we have to fill out our brackets today, so the whole world's going to see that anyway, so you got to pick something.
You're forcing me to choose between Vegas and LA.
Actually, true. You should have to wait. You should have to wait.
I'll just guess the East.
Yeah. Okay, you give me your East pick. Everyone else has to give me both. Who do you got from the East, Marty?
I'm going to go Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Oh, no, I think I said Vegas last year. I think I said Tampa. I thought I said Tampa, Colorado last year, and I was like, am I going to say that again? But I think I said Tampa, Vegas last year and got burned. Is it Carolina's year, Dan? Is it finally
I thought
happening?
about that too.
I know. I'm just like,
dude, you know what sucks is I think it is, but
then we're idiots again.
No, Vasi woke up.
Yeah.
Like, it's so insane. Vasi's back.
It's like Smaug under the fucking
right.
This is
coins.
Not my official pick. I reserve the right to change this pick tomorrow and the next day and the next day. But right now, it does feel like Tampa, Colorado.
Okay, Ev.
I'm gonna go Tampa Wild.
Tampa Wild. Holy shit, that'd be numbies. Could the Wild do it? Maybe it's Vegas, dude. Maybe it's Vegas. Today, in this moment, it's 2:52. Today, my pick is Vegas.
Wow.
Vegas, Carolina. What a ridiculous final that would be. Can you imagine? The odds makers losing their fucking minds. That's how I feel right now. 2:52 p.m. It's Vegas, Carolina. I'll see how I feel at 2:53. Okay, those are our picks. Unbelievable playoffs we got dialed in here. This is pretty open. It feels more open than in past. There's some exciting young teams in here. No disrespect to Colorado, but it doesn't feel like a lock that they're in the way maybe it felt like Florida last year. So this is going to be sick, boys.
Yep. Great stuff. Can't wait. That's the playoff preview from the boys here. So let's get dialed in tomorrow, folks. We got playoff hockey. So get fucking horny, get your drinks going, and get ready. And while you're watching, CP, tell them what to do.
Skate hard.